Okay. we're talking about dating and detachment. All right? So this is how it works. In this society, and you're going to hear me say it a lot, in this society, because I don't feel that women are like this in every society. I don't feel like women like this across time and space. When I say that, I look at humanity in a spectrum. When I say a spectrum, I'm talking about 2000s, 1800s, 1700s, 1600s. I'm a low-key historian, so I love my history. So when I say in this society, this is what I'm talking about currently in this iteration of what women are. In this society, women are fucking bullies and they're abusive. And when I say that, I don't mean physically abusive. I'm talking about mentally and emotionally, they're terrorists and they're abusive. And like I said in my previous first video, it's always our fault. And when I say it's our fault, meaning we have control over it. So, all that to be said, when it comes to dating, there's a level of detachment that you have to have in dating. It's a level of detachment you have to have. So I'm gonna break that down. As a man, you have to understand, again, like I said previously, it's always our fault. And when I say that, I'm not beating up on men. If it's our fault, that means that we have control over everything as well. So when I look at dating, you have to understand your power. You have to understand your control. You set the tone as a man. By nature, men set the tone, women follow. If you look in the Bible, the man was created first, Eve was the rib. You look at Egyptian history, you look at Egyptian spirituality. The man was the leader, the woman supported and protected him. In every iteration of anything in history, the woman plays a supporting role. She's your assistant manager. So if she's fucking up, it's because you're fucking up as a man. So again, with all that being said, you have to have a level of detachment in dating. Yeah, I know you've dated women before, and she's in your face, yelling at you, screaming, nigga, you ain't shit, whatever the case may be. But as a man, you cannot respond emotionally. Men are by nature logical, more logical. Women are by nature more emotional. So if you respond to her emotionally, she's going to drag you down to her level and beat you with experience. What you need to do is elevate her to your level, and you teach her with experience. You see what I just said? She's going to drag you down to her level and beat you with her experience. You elevate her to your level and beat her with experience. So what that takes for you as a man is to have experiences. You have to go out and build yourself. You have to go out, work out, find your swag, eat healthy, do what the fuck you need to do to be able to build yourself and create yourself as a man, and therefore affect the reality that you're a part of. For her, as a woman, she needs to be able to experience that reality that you created, and then now she can manifest that reality. A woman, you know, I don't play instruments and shit like that, but a guitar makes the sounds. The amplifier amplifies that shit, right? A woman is your amplifier, you're the guitar. Understand that as a man. So when I say detachment in dating, when she's coming to you, arguing with you, she's coming to you with all that emotional shit, you have to stay calm. Give you an example. Say you tell your woman, listen, honey, baby, I love you, I care about you. I need you to fill that tank up in that car. We're in a car right now. You need to fill that tank up in the car, because if you don't, it's going to run out of gas. Simple shit. You could tell your woman that over and over again. Now, say she doesn't listen to you. She runs out of gas. She calls you at work. Now you gotta leave work to come pick her ass up, right? And of course you're gonna be upset because it's like, yo, listen, bitch, I done told you already multiple times, stop leaving this shit on E, whatever the case may be, right? Whatever the case may be. So now, what happens is that my phone just ringing. Ignore that, some real ghetto shit. So now what happens is that you're aggravated. You go pick her up. You go save her. A lot of women want that in this reality, in this world, in this iteration of time and space and all that shit. Now you go pick her up. You have to respond to her in a logical way. Listen, I told you multiple times, I need you to make sure you're responsible. You have to hold women accountable, right? So all that screaming, bitch, I told you this, that's not gonna work because she's gonna drag you down to her level and beat your experience. What you can do is elevate her. So if you're gonna elevate her, pause. I done raised a lot of women in my life. Think about it in that capacity. You have to raise women. You have to raise people. You know what I mean? I have a lot of children out here, and that's cool. It is what it is. So backtrack. So now you go and you talk to her. You can't get mad and yell at her, scream at her, because now what she's gonna do is tell her friends in her little bitch group chat, this nigga said XYZ, this nigga did this and this, and she'll miss the whole fucking message. What you have to do is tell her in a very calm voice, and you have to tell her in a calm voice, listen, we're building together, right? We're a team, correct? So a team is only as strong as its weakest link. So now, if I ask you to do something simple as just filling the gas tank and making sure you be responsible adult, and you can't even do that, how can we take over the world together? In the black community, we are lacking accountability. We are lacking leadership. So everybody's not going to be Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or whatever the case may be. But at least if we're leaders in our own community, on our own blocks, on our own hemisphere, in our own, in our own circles, if we're not leaders there, so if we're not leaders there, how can we expect to elevate as a community? I know I went all the way left with it, but at the end of the day, you have to go all the way left. The reason why you have to go all the way left is because now, let's backtrack, when she's shit testing you, and that's another video, I'll go into it in another video. When she's shit testing you, you can stay staunch in your understanding, and you can stay staunch, invested and righteous in you passing those shit tests. You can stay staunch and righteous in you being able to tell her no. You could be staunch and righteous and when you tell her, like, listen, I'm gonna leave you out there. I told you 3-4 times. And you're not gonna feel bad about it because you understand how that small picture, how that micro connects to the macro. And for me, I'm a big picture type of nigga. So I need to understand how things fit into the big puzzle so I can understand this little small piece I'm looking at. And a lot of times people will say, you know what, this little thing that that you have making a big point about, this little thing that you're really harping on is not that big of a deal. But it is, because any abusive relationship, whether it's physically, emotionally, it starts off somewhere. And it starts off, typically, the way it starts off is that little things. Physically abusive, that little joking, I'm gonna fuck you up when I see you. And sometimes it just ends there, it's just joking. But a lot of times it starts there and builds somewhere else. And emotionally abusive, the way women do it, is they'll push and press your boundaries until you don't have any more. And when you don't have those boundaries, then you're susceptible for any attack that they decide to wage war on you with. So, let me wrap this shit up for you. Detachment in dating. The reason why there's a level of detachment in dating, I'm going to talk from both angles at this point in time. The reason why there's a level of detachment in dating is because, one, as a man, like I said earlier, you're more logical. You have to be logical. Women are more emotional. So your job, everything in this world is about balance. You have to be able to balance things out. People are always looking for balance. The cells looking for balance. You look into the cell membrane and all that shit. I'm not going to break that down, but if you took science, you know what I'm talking about. Everything needs balance in this world. So your masculinity balances out her feminine energy. That's why it's so important for you fellas to stay in the masculine energy and to understand that feminine energy is not masculine and masculine is not feminine. And don't listen to that feminism bullshit. A woman can do everything a man can do, what the fuck they can't. They might be able to do it, but they're not equipped to do it the way we are, and vice versa. So we'll go into another video. I'll break it down, but I really want to get this point across to y'all. In order for you to deal with a woman, until you increase her emotional intelligence, you're gonna have to be slightly detached with her. And ladies, if you want your man to open up to you, you're gonna have to be able to absorb the lessons that he's telling you and become more emotionally aware and emotionally intelligent. Now at that point, when you acquire this emotional intelligence, then he's going to open up to you and be able to be more vulnerable and give you what the fuck you want. Now as a man, it's your job to be able to, like I said before, acquire experiences, build your world, understand who you are, understand who you're not. And once you do that, when you date a woman, now you can understand how to raise her, like I said previously. And once you understand how to raise her, get your GPS together, your mental, emotional navigation. Get your GPS together. Once you have that GPS, a real woman who's not broken will have no problem falling in line following your program. But if you don't have a program, you're going to have issues with her. And again, it's another video I'm going to go into, is breaking down beta men, alpha men, the difference between those. The women who want alpha men, who seek alpha men. There's women who are attention whores. There's women who want beta men providers. And most women are a combination of all three. So all that being said is that there's a level of detachment in dating, and that's pretty much what it is. So in the day, you have men are going to start all the way on the right, women are going to start all the way on the left. As a man, you have to be able to be detached slightly and still show love for her, and you still show you like her, but there's a little bit of emotional attachment there. Until you balance out her emotions, now you can be able to share your emotions with her, because now you create an environment that's a safe environment where you can invest and put your emotions into. Now women, you have to be able to take direction from this nigga and be able to also identify what a real nigga is, because a lot of you bitches have dealt with a bunch of fuck niggas, a bunch of beta niggas. And what happens is that when you deal with a bunch of fuck niggas and dick bitches, as I said before, you're gonna get your feelings hurt. You're gonna be led off a cliff. So now your job as a woman is to be with a nigga who you can actually follow, who you can actually take direction from. Niggas, get your GPS up. And until that happens, there will be detachment. But once that you both of you on both sides achieves this goal, once the woman increases her emotional intelligence, and the man, you get your GPS up and you increase your emotional intelligence, because it's going to take some of that as well. Because again, like I said earlier, if she's screaming in your face, you have to take a step back, reflect, understand why that emotion she's giving you makes you feel the emotion that you're having, and how you're responding to her and how she's going to respond back to you. As I said, women are the amplifier. So whatever you give her, she's going to give it back to you 3, 4, 5, 10-fold. So make sure you're aware of the emotions that you're providing your woman with, because you're going to get it right back. It's going to bounce right back off of her and give it to you. So now, ultimately, you have to be self-aware and recognize exactly who the fuck you are. Knowledge of self. I know you've heard this before. Knowledge of self. The more knowledge of self you have, the more knowledge and understanding of others you have, the more knowledge you can provide others of their selves. So again, that's what I feel about dating and detachment. We got way more for y'all. Like and subscribe. Check my Instagram out. You see what I look like. You see how I live. My stories is lit. Make sure you hit that subscribe bell as well. I'm sorry, not the subscribe. Subscribe, obviously, but you want to make sure you hit that notifications as well, because I want you to even know the content when it comes out. We're going to be dropping that science on you. We're going to drop everything on you. All right, take it easy.